Hi there, class. Today we're on Notes 5-4, Distribute, Combine Like Terms, and Solve. We're on Notes page 11 in your binder. So now that we know how to do the distributive property and how to combine like terms, we need to see how we do that when we're solving an equation. So remember, we always ask ourselves first, do we have anything to distribute? Then do we have anything to combine like terms? And we're going to ask ourselves those two same questions today with our lesson. So if we look at the first example, and I'm going to rewrite it over here so I have a little bit more room to write. 2w minus 3 equals 81. My first question I need to ask myself is, do I have any distributing to do? Do I have that number outside the group that I need to pass out? And in this case I do. I have the 9 because there's a w stuck inside and I can't do anything with it. So I'm going to distribute the 9. Remember, you're doing 9 times 2w is going to give you 18w. And then I have 9 times this negative 3, which gives me negative 27. So watch out for that. Now because we're solving, I'm going to draw my line down the middle of my equation like we did with our last unit, and it's all going to be equal to 81. Now, the second question I need to ask myself is, do I have any combining like terms? Can these two terms be added together? Well, no, they cannot. So I need to solve it like I would solve a regular two-step equation. Get rid of the constant first, so I'm going to add 27 to both sides. Then I have left over 18w equals 81 plus 27. It's going to give me 108. Then I need to get the 18 away from the w, so I divide by 18 on both sides. And I'm left with w is equal to 6 as my final answer. Now with this unit, we're not going to ask that you check your work. However, if you want to check your work, you may. So let's go through that check step really quick so you can see what it would look like. So we have 9, and then in parentheses we'll have 2 times w, which is 6, minus 3 equals 81. Now if we solve this like an order of operations problem, I'm going to solve my grouping first. So I have 9, and then 2 times 6 gives me 12, minus 3, and that equals 81. Finish your grouping, so you have 9 times 9 would equal 81. 9 times 9 is 81. There's my reflexive property right there, so I got it right. So if you want to do your check step, you can, but you don't have to do a check step if you don't want to. But make sure if you're not going to do a check step, you're extra careful here and you go back and you check your work through your steps. So let's look at number 1 together. Do I have any distributive property? Yes, I do. I do right here. This negative 3 times a positive 3, and then a negative 3 times a negative 1. Remember, we're solving, so if you want to draw your line through your equal sign, you can. Negative 3 times a positive 3x gives me negative 9x. Negative 3 times a negative 1 gives me positive 3 equals 30. Do I have any combining like terms? I distributed. Now I need to ask myself, do I need to combine? I don't have any combining, so I'm just going to solve it like a regular equation. Get rid of my constant. I'm left with negative 9x equals 30 minus 3 gives me 27. Divided by negative 9, divided by negative 9. I'm left with x equals negative 3 as my final answer. Okay, let's look at number 2. I'm solving, so I can draw my line down the equal sign. Do I have any distributive property? Well, yes I do. I'm going to take my 2 times my negative 3z and the 2 times the positive 4. So 2 times negative 3z is going to give me negative 6z. 2 times a positive 4 is going to give me positive 8 equals negative 16. Do I have any combining like terms now? Remember, distribute, then combine. I do not have any combining like terms, so I'm going to solve it like a regular equation, minus 8 on both sides to get the constant away. I'm left with negative 6z is equal to negative 16 minus 8 gives me negative 24. Divide by negative 6 on both sides to get it away from the z. And I'm left with z is equal to 4 as my final answer. Alright. You try number 3 and number 4 on your own. So pause the video here and we'll go over number 3 and number 4 after you've completed them by yourself. So when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll go over them together. So pause the video now. Alright, let's go over number 3 and number 4 together. So if we look at number 3, we're solving, so I can draw my line down the equal sign. Do I have any distributive property? Yes, I do right here. The 10 is being multiplied by that negative 1, and the 10 is being multiplied by that 8. Remember, there's a ninja there, negative 1. So 10 times negative 1 gives me negative 10y. 10 times 8 gives me positive 80 is equal to 20. I distributed. Now I ask myself, do I have any combining like terms? No, neither of these two numbers can go together. So now I can solve just like a regular equation. Get rid of the constant first. So I'm left with negative 10y is equal to 20 minus 80 gives me negative 60. Then I divide by 10, or negative 10, I'm sorry, on both sides. And I'm left with y is equal to 6 as my final answer for that one. If I look at number 4, I'm solving. So I'm going to put my line down the middle. Do I have distributive property? Yes, right here. Negative 8 times 2y gives me negative 16y. Negative 8 times positive 10 gives me negative 80 equals negative 16. Do I have any combining like terms now? Remember, distribute, combine. Do I have any combining like terms? No. So I'm going to solve like a regular equation, get rid of my constant first. So I'm left with negative 16y equals 16. Negative 16 plus 80 gives me 64. Then I'm going to divide by negative 16. And I'm left with y is equal to negative 4 for that one. So go ahead, do 5, 6, 7, and 8 by yourself. I'm going to put the answers up whenever you are ready to check your work. So pause the video here, do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Watch out for that ninja negative 1 right there, and the fraction when you're solving negative 6. So pause the video here. When you're ready to check your work, unpause the video. So your answer for negative 5 should be x is equal to negative 2. For number 6, it should be h is equal to negative 6. Number 7 should be x is equal to negative 1. And number 8 is y is equal to 4. And if you have any questions about those and you didn't understand, please pause the video here and ask me for help in class. Okay, this is your opportunity to get help now if you don't understand. So go ahead, pause the video here and ask for help on 5, 6, 7, or 8 if there's one that you don't understand. Whenever you're ready, start to replay the video and we'll go on to the next section. So let's look at page 12 in your binder and let's talk about combining like terms. Now in this case, none of these will have distributive property, but we still want to ask ourselves, do we need to distribute, yes or no, and then do we need to combine? So if we look at the example that we have here, and I'm going to rewrite it so I have a little bit more room. I have 8x minus 4x plus 15 equals negative 5. Now if you still need to use your colored pencils for combining like terms, please get them out. And let's talk about this one. Now I'm solving, so I can draw my line down the middle. Do I have any distributive property? And no, I don't have any distributive property. But do I have any combining like terms? And I do. I have this 8x and I have this negative 4x here. And then I have a constant of positive 15. Now, whenever I'm combining like terms and I'm solving an equation, I'm not going to go over my line that I drew down the middle. Okay, don't cross the line, don't cross the wall. You're just combining on one side. So when I combine those, I get 4x plus 15 is equal to negative 5. So I don't have any more combining like terms, so now I can just solve like a regular equation. Subtract 15 from both sides. I'm left with 4x is equal to negative 20, and then I can divide by 4 on both sides to get it away from the letter, and I'm left with x is equal to negative 5. Alright, let's look at number 6 together, and I'm going to change to a gray pen. So I'm going to draw my line down the middle. Do I have any distributive property? No, but do I have any combining like terms? Yes, I have this 6x and this negative 2x, and then I have my negative 13. Remember, I'm not going to cross the wall, so I have them already in the right order. Letters are first, then the number, just like we was when we were combining like terms before. 6x minus 2x gives me 4x minus 13 is equal to 3. I've already combined like terms, so now I can just solve. I'm going to add 13 to both sides. I'm left with 4x is equal to 16. Divide by 4 on both sides. And I'm left with x is equal to 4 for this problem. We can solve number 10 the exact same way, but it's going to be a little bit different. So, do I have any distributive property? No. Do I have any combining like terms? Well, yes, I have combining like terms. I have 4a, and I have negative 12a, and then I have positive 2. Now, they're not in the right order, so I'm going to rearrange them. So I have 4a, remember my letters need to go first, minus 12a plus 2 is equal to 18. Then I can combine my letters. 4a minus 12a gives me negative 8a plus 2 is equal to 18. Then I can solve it like a regular equation. Subtract 2 from both sides to get rid of that constant. Then I'm left with negative 8a equals 16. Then I'm going to divide by negative 8 on both sides. And I'm left with a is equal to negative 2. So try numbers 11 and 12 by yourself. When you're ready, unpause the video and we'll go over them. Alright, let's look at 11 and 12. So remember, I draw my line down the middle. I have combining like terms. Do I have distributive property? No, but I do have combining like terms here. I have x's, and then I have my constant. 5x minus 4x gives me 1x plus 16 equals negative 1. Going to subtract 16 from both sides to solve my problem. I have 1x, but really that's just x. X is equal to negative 17 for this problem. If I look at 12, remember I'm solving, so I can draw my line. Do I have any distributive property? No. Do I have any combining like terms? Yes. I have negative 10c and negative 8c. And then I have my constant of positive 5. Remember, don't cross that line. Negative 10 and the negative 8 need rewritten in the right order. So I have negative 10c minus 8c plus 5 equals 59. Now I can combine. Negative 10c minus 8c gives me negative 18c plus 5 equals 56. I combine my like terms, so now I can just solve like a regular equation. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and I'm left with negative 18c is equal to 54, because I messed up, and these should not be 56s, should be 59s. So make sure you fix that. Divide by negative 18 on both sides, and I'm left with c is equal to 3 for that problem. So go ahead and try the ones down below.